Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. My name is Lance and today I'm going to be showing you how to use bear traps correctly. If you enjoy or learn something new, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and let's get right into the video. With the release of ASA, a lot of PvP metas have changed. Due to the rework of cryopods, this means you can no longer Perlovia trap people like you used to. Perlovias used to be the best foot PvP dino to keep on you, but they've quickly been replaced by bear traps. They still serve the same role, but with some slight differences. For one, you can bear trap your own teammates, there's only one real way to counter them, and you must know where to put them so your enemies will actually walk into them. But before we get into that, let's start with the basics. Bear traps are used to immobilize humans and small creatures. Bear traps only weigh 2 pounds each and they craft in stacks of 10. This makes them the lightest structure in the game, and to craft one you only need 5 fiber, 3 metal, and 6 hide. So next time you decide to run bear traps in your kit, there's a few things you need to keep in mind. The best way to place them is concealed inside bushes or in the mesh. You also want to put them in places where you're not likely to walk or you know where they're at and your enemies won't. The goal is to try to bait them to walk over them or place them in areas where they'll already be walking. For this example, I noticed that there was a fob on the left and they were PvPing on the right. I positioned the bear traps in between where I knew that they were going to be walking back and forth from, and sure enough, someone walked into it. The quicker you start using these, the less likely people are to look for them. At the moment, I can put them straight out in the open and people are always walking into them. The more people that start knowing about this meta, the more likely people are going to start looking for them. Now let's go over the only real way to counter them. As of the release of this video, there's only 2 ways to counter it. You can either get whipped out or have your teammate run up and demo it. Another great place to put them is in narrow walkways where you know they have to walk over it. For this example, I knew that there was turrets around the left side, so I knew none of my teammates were going to walk into it. I placed it on the side of the carbo because I knew if my enemies wanted to fight us, they would have to walk past it. This allowed us to get another easy free kit. If you ever have to place bear traps in the open world, the best way to place them is in a line. This way you know where they're at and you can jump over it, and if people are chasing you, they'll run into it. In this example, I was third partying a fob that was on another server and I placed a bunch of bear traps on the ground. I knew if I just stayed on the outside, eventually they would try to chase me, and if I led them to where my bear traps were and they ran on the ground, they would eventually get stuck in them. One thing I love about bear traps is because they're so small and they lay on the ground flat, you can easily hide them under the textures. So if you just run away and wait for people to run into them, it's super easy to get free kits on people. Once you know you have someone in the bear trap, you can basically do whatever you want. If you trap someone and they have no teammates to help them, the only real way to get out is if you kill yourself. Back in ASE, this was the only real way to counter people that had Fjordhawks. I would bear trap people and then throw a narc nade so that way it would knock them out. If they put on a gas mask, I'd just pull out my tech rifle and break it with 1 or 2 shots. This meta works even better now that people don't really main tech suits. So every time I go to PvP and it's an open world, normally what I do is put down a whole line of them. That way if they come to run after me, they'll more than likely walk into it. I typically like to place them right outside people's turret range because that way I'm less likely to walk into it or my teammates. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed or learned something new. If you did, make sure to never use this strategy on me. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bloody bottles is on the knee, cause all my niggas got it out the streets. I keep 100 racks out my knee. I remember